A very good evening, welcome to Premier League Live for our final game of this midweek action in the Premier League. We had 6 games for you last night, just the one for you tonight to round off match day 14. And it is Manchester United taking on West Ham United at Old Trafford. It's about to kick off. The players just entering from the tunnel onto the field. Let's remind you of all of the scores from this match week. Look at the amount of goals, some crackers as well in there. Everton beating Bournemouth at the Vitality, a 9-goal thriller between Fulham and Man City, which City edged by the odd goal. A 2-2 draw between Newcastle and Spurs on Tuesday night. Arsenal, the league leaders, 2-0 winners at home against Brentford, the only home team to keep a clean sheet this match week. Brighton 3, Aston Villa 4 last night. Palace and Forest both winning away from home by a 1-0 against Burnley and Wolves respectively. A big result for Leeds in their 3-1 win over Chelsea. And Liverpool, their first draw of the season in a 1-1 result against Sunderland. But it is Manchester United that takes centre stage tonight again, alongside West Ham, a Man United side who went to Palace on Sunday and in the end came away with all 3 points. Their last home game was a pretty harrowing home defeat against 10-man Everton. They'll want to put that right tonight. West Ham side who were beaten by Liverpool at the weekend, but we're on an unbeaten run before that of 3 games, 2 wins and a draw. There is an uptick in results since Nuno Espirito Santo's appointment at the London Stadium. Let's have a look at the 2 teams for tonight's game, starting with Manchester United. And Sene Lammens starts in goal. Ahmad starts at right wing back. We believe Mazraoui, Shaw and Heaven are the back 3, with Dalot at left wing back. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes are in midfield, with Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo and Joshua Zirkzee leading the line for United. On the bench, Bayindir, Malacia, Martinez, Yoro, Dorgu, Mainu, Mount, Ugarte and Shea Lacey. For West Ham United, Alphonse Areola starts in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Konstantinos Mavropanos, Jean-Claude Todibo and El Hadji Diouf all start in defence. Magassa and Potts are in midfield, with Souček further forward in the 10, Matheus Fernandes off the left, Jared Bowen off the right, and Callum Wilson leads the West Ham line. On the bench for the Hammers, Hermansen, Walker-Peters, Kilman, Myers, Rodriguez, Irving, Earthy, Kante and Marshall. 2 sides have seen an uptick in form in the last few weeks. A Manchester United side who will want to return back to winning ways at home. If they do, the top 4 beckons. Kick-off at Old Trafford is next. A very good evening. Welcome to Premier League Live this evening. For this one, Man United taking on West Ham. And after that defeat to Everton at home, as I said, they'll want to return to winning ways at Old Trafford. Man United, they've won 4 of their 6 home games this season. West Ham United, as I said, they were just lost 1 of their last 4. They've actually won 4 of the last 5 against Manchester United in the Premier League, but just 1 away win this season. 2 draws and 3 defeats on the road in their 6 away games has them 14th in the home away form. They are 18th and in the bottom 3 coming into tonight's game. They could jump out and put Leeds back in the bottom 3 with a victory this evening. Our referee this evening is Andrew Kitchen. And our VAR is Peter Banks. And Andrew Kitchen, only his 5th Premier League game as a referee. So quite inexperienced, but Peter Banks, an experienced referee, is the VAR. Excuse me. It's Man United against West Ham, and we're underway at Old Trafford. Man United in red shirts, white shorts. West Ham in white shirts and navy shorts for this one tonight. Their away strip, and hoping that they can pull off a very good result on the road. West Ham, they saw Everton could do it. Why couldn't they? And 10-man Everton could do it and hold Man United to not scoring here at home, which is a very rare occurrence. Man United don't score at home. And they did win the last time they came here, West Ham, a 2-0 victory in May of last season. Jared Bowen and Thomas Souček on the score sheet that day. Here's Mbeumo down the right hand side for Ahmad. First attack for him, and Ahmad works it across the area. Into the middle, it comes Xerxes, who took a touch, and that touch will go all the way out for a West Ham throw, deep in their own half. And Ahmad will be a threat today off that right wing, and already showing his early threats to the West Ham left back, El Hadji Malik Diouf. Long throw down the line. Jared Bowen wanted a foul. He tried to get onto the ball there, but dispossessed as the ball pings around and cleared away by Diouf. Brought down by Casemiro. Now finds Cunha, who will have a little bit of space to run. Edge of the box it comes. Out to the left for Dalot. Tried to cross but blocked by Wan-Bissaka. Formerly of this parish, of course. Former Man United player. Here's Dalot again. Well closed out this time by Magassa, who was tracking back. The 22-year-old Frenchman joined West Ham in the summer for just under £15 million, the midfielder. Making his 8th appearance in the Premier League this season. The midfielder. The ball all the way back with Areola. Long clearance for him. Nicely taken down by Wilson, but nipped in there to win it back was Casemiro. Now Ahmad. Now Mazraoui to Mbeumo. Right to Bruno Fernandes. Finding Mbeumo in a bit of space. Nice to break away from Magassa. Works it out to the left-hand side. Comes Cunha. Drives back infield. Trying to link it up with his captain. Well dispossessed. And now Bowen sends Callum Wilson on a run. And he couldn't get very far with it. He felt he was held, but the referee said no, as here comes Ahmad down the right. But end to end at the moment, Ahmad tracking into the box, goes down. Referee says nothing. Says play on as Diouf clears his lines and sails over the head of Wilson. Well, they were claiming the penalty there. I don't think many of the Man United players were claiming it, but Ahmad certainly was. We'll see it again. Yeah, there's nothing in that. Matheus Fernandes does put a foot in, but he makes absolutely no contact with Ahmad. That's never a penalty. Quickly waved away by the VAR, Peter Banks. We play on. And by the way, thank you all for joining us for this one tonight. It's great to have your company for this one as we round off match day 14 in the Premier League. It's been quite a frantic midweek. 31 goals we've had over the last 2 nights in our 9 games. None better than the 9-goal thriller on Tuesday night and the 7-goal thriller last night. We'll be treated to a goal fest here at Old Trafford tonight. Not based on recent evidence between these two in the Premier League. In the last 7 meetings between these two sides, there's only been one team that has scored, bar the one, which was a 2-1 win for West Ham last season at the London Stadium. In the other 6 of the last 7, only one of the 2 teams has found the back of the net in this fixture. Here's Mazraoui. Out to Ahmad. 4.5 minutes gone. Man United with the majority of the possession. Ahmad whipping it in this time early. Away by Mavropanos. And away and out for a Man United throw-in. It was Xerxes that was maybe the target from that Ahmad cross. And well marshalled by Konstantinos Mavropanos. Wilson does well to flick it away from his man. Finding Bowen. And United players in cover, and Bowen couldn't squeeze the ball through to Souček. So they will reverse it back to Freddie Potts. Now back to Todibo. Cross to Mavropanos. Now to Matheus Fernandes. Brought down by Ahmad. Free kick to West Ham in their own half. As I said, Man United 72% possession in the first 5 minutes, so certainly in control of the ball. Ball down the right-hand side there from West Ham. Finds Bowen. Flicked round the corner to run on here for Wan-Bissaka. He's got Wilson in the middle. Wan-Bissaka's cut back left by Bowen. Here's Fernandes! And the block by Casemiro sends it over the crossbar. First attack for West Ham, and it comes down that right-hand side. Really good play by Wan-Bissaka. Finds Bowen. Back out to the right was Souček, who stepped away from midfield. He played it through. Wan-Bissaka continued his run. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. Too far behind Bowen, and striding onto it was Mateus Fernandes, trying to tuck it into the corner. And nicely sliding in was Casemiro to block it behind for the corner. That was a good move by West Ham. Well defended by Casemiro, putting his body on the line. First corner of the game. Whipped in from the right-hand side, up and away by Zirkzee. And Cunha tried to get rid of it quickly, but couldn't find anybody in Man United colours, and it will be a West Ham throw down the right-hand side. And that's where West Ham will try and find joy tonight, as those runs in behind, making moves off the ball. A Man United back three that maybe hasn't really played with each other very much. Which Luke Shaw and Mazraoui have vast amounts of experience, and Aidan Heaven, the youngster, in the middle of that back three. West Ham will certainly want to target Man United in terms of that inexperienced back three. Maybe target those runs. They've got men who can do it. Here's Bowen. Tackled as he played the pass there, and it's a late one. It's going to be a yellow card. Handed out to the player that committed the foul. I'm not too sure who it was. Yeah, it's the youngster Aidan Heaven. Just gets a little bit excited by Jared Bowen, showing him a little bit too much of the ball, and the pass was already made before he made the sliding tackle. He's going to get a yellow card, the young defender. And that's very early in the game for a young player to get a yellow card. But I'm sure the experience around him will guide him through. Free kick to West Ham on the right-hand side. Had a little spell of their own here, West Ham. It's Freddie Potts over the free kick. Right-footed, fizzed into the area to the back post. Headed across by Mavropanos. Bowen was in there. Strike by Todibo was blocked. And away by Zirkzee, who carries it out of the box now. Fernandes. Zirkzee. Man United trying to break away. Down the left it comes to Fernandes again. He carries it across midfield. One or two little moments for West Ham there. Man United continue down this left-hand side. Here's Zirkzee. Back to Cunha. Right, it goes to Dalot. Now the run from Cunha in behind. Jenks past his man. Gets the ball into the area. And Bomo's header blocked as it falls to Ahmad, who cuts it back for Bruno Fernandes, who wanted a penalty. Not going to be given one for that. And then Casemiro stopping the counter-attack is going to give a free kick away. Well, Bruno Fernandes incessantly claiming to the referee it was a penalty. See it again. Ahmad across, and yeah, Thomas Souček aggressive in his defending, really strong. I mean, there's nothing in that. I think Bruno Fernandes loves to hear himself again. It's not a penalty, never in a million years. I don't know what he wants the referee to give there. It's not a penalty, and Thomas Souček does nothing wrong. I think what Bruno Fernandes is kind of expecting is Thomas Souček say, "Oh yeah, go ahead, have the shot." He has to do something. That's a beautiful takedown by Souček, trying to whip it in. Well blocked by Dalot. Right for the throw-in. Thomas Souček, a real aerial threat, both defensively and offensively for West Ham. He's got a few headed goals, quite a few, and makes some crucial defensive headers as well. A real mainstay of this West Ham United team. Bowen chases back into the Man United box, and Bruno Fernandes getting a goal kick out of Thomas Souček on cover. And a goal kick to United will come. Well, I'm sure Nuno Espirito Santo not too unhappy with the start that his team have had here in the first 10 minutes. Responded well to the early Man United possession, as that's a long diagonal ball right the way through to Areola. Nicely smothered by the West Ham defenders. into Aidan Heaven's path. He will just take it back to his goalkeeper Lamans, who took it first time to get rid of it. Ultimately puts it out for a throw-in to West Ham. This is what I mean. West Ham will look to press when Aidan Heaven's on the ball, not to be disrespectful to him, but they will feel that he might be the one to get at in this Man United back three. Try and put him into pressure situations, as referee has a few technical issues here, so the game is at a pause for the moment. As the technician there just make sure that all is well. It seems to happen very often now. Unreliable technology. Well, he's got it now, the referee, the contact. And we should be back to get underway again. Throw into West Ham, left hand side. Diouf to take. Looking for an option. Goes down the line towards Souček, blocked and stopped by Casemiro. As the ball jinks towards Wilson, but cleared away well by Heaven. Up in the air by Mavropanos. And a real battle for possession here as Diouf brings it down. Nice work by Magassa. Gets it back to Mavropanos. Fires forward into an area. West Ham do retrieve with Potts. Magassa gets a little bit loose. West Ham scrambling to keep possession, but ball goes out for a United throw. Yeah, neither side at the minute able to have some sustained possession, and West Ham just trying to disrupt the game a little bit. Man United and Ruben Amorim there calling for calm from his team, not to get too overexcited. And so far, 3 shots in the game, 2 for the Hammers, 1 for United, none of them on target. Man United with more possession. West Ham the more shots at the moment, but not much goal-mouth action to this early stage. Well, Man United, as I said, have lost 4 of the last 5 Premier League games against West Ham. They won the other one. That's more than they had in their previous 28 games against the Hammers, in which they won 19, drew 6 and lost 3 of those. So it's a bit of a happy spell for West Ham against Man United as of recent. Who can forget the 2-1 win for West Ham early last season, if you remember. Man United missed so many big chances in that game. West Ham getting that late penalty, that controversial late penalty to win it through Jared Bowen. Ultimately, by the end of last season, West Ham finished a point above Manchester United in the table and 14th. United finished 15th on 42 points. West Ham 14th on 43 points. And of course, West Ham won the reverse fixture 2-0 here at Old Trafford late last season. That 2-0 win ended a 16-game winless run away at Old Trafford for the Hammers. Well, they'd drawn 3 and lost 13 of their 16 games prior to that. But they've not won consecutive visits to Old Trafford in the league since March 1934. If they win tonight, it'll be the first time in over 90 years that they've won back-to-back at Old Trafford. 15 minutes gone, still goalless. West Ham with the ball here with Freddie Potts. Back it goes to Debo. Now Diouf, nice little chink between the lines to find Callum Wilson. The flag stays down for the moment as he bricks into the box. All United players around the area as he wins a corner. Callum Wilson held his run well there. And again, let's just say the man with the armband in red has got his mouth going again. He wanted a foul there by Freddie Potts a little earlier. So corner to West Ham. Their second of the game. The second of the game. And Freddie Potts to take again. Nice little spell this for West Ham. Right footed delivery. It's low. Cleared away at the near post. That time by Fernandez. Whipped back out wide by Wan-Bissaka, taken in by Potts. Fernandez tries to get in the way, but Potts does well. Whipped in by Diouf. Half cleared as chested down in the midfield. The edge of the area by Magassa, and Todibo was going nowhere with that one as Casemiro fires clear. And retrieved by Wan-Bissaka. No way out for Man United at the minute. Areola's having the time of his life in his own 18-yard box at the minute. A spectator like the other 70,000 inside Old Trafford. Back to Todibo. Diouf. Potts back to Diouf, who tries to flick it over the top. Again, there was runners on for the Hammers, but well dealt with by United. The ball comes to Wan-Bissaka. Trying to drive his way down the right-hand side, up against Dalot. Former teammates, of course. Similar positions, of course. Now, finding Jared Bowen into the box. Bowen has a shot. Well blocked. So it bounces to Xerxes' path. United want to try and counter, but nothing on there with that pass. That will bounce for a West Ham throw. Jared Bowen getting a little side of goal there. Well blocked by one or two United players, but he seems to be the main threat at the minute down that right-hand side. 47 of West Ham's attacks have come down that right flank. Wan-Bissaka and Bowen, the key targets down that side. Of course, scored in both games against United last season, Jared Bowen, so knows his way against United. Diouf will take this throw. Finds it on to Bowen. Away by Heaven as the flick on was into the Man United player's head. Nicely taken in here. One back again by West Ham. Bowen finding Wan-Bissaka, who gets past Dalot. Wan-Bissaka feinted into Souček's path. Souček trying to go for the cross. A little deflection. And Sene Lammens thought he'd kept it in, but will be a West Ham corner. Moving really nicely between the lines, West Ham. Keeping the United players guessing. The who's picking up what positions, and Thomas Souček making those runs, especially down that right-hand side, to kind of create an overload down that side. That's their third corner of the game for West Ham. Left-footed delivery. Cleared away by Fernandez. Only as far as Todibo, I think it was, or is it Diouf? And it's absolutely sliced out for a Man United throw, and it's one of the worst connections I've seen. It is Diouf. Awful slicing of the ball there with his left foot, but wasn't the most confident clearance by Fernandez. A better hit by Diouf, and it could have been more of a threat. In the end, Man United come away unscathed. 19.5 minutes gone. Still goalless, as that's a ball in behind here for Fernandez, who made the run. Comes to the edge of the box, and the flag's going to go up for offside. And after what was a decent start for United in the first 5 minutes or so, kind of just gone a bit missing the attacking players. West Ham have just started to grow into the game and become a little bit more dominant. 70% possession for Man United. It's disappeared. It's 50-50 now. It's a flick on header. Might have come off a hand there in Heaven. Not fully cleared as falls for Wilson, who won't get a chance to shoot as Ahmad clears. West Ham making it tricky for Man United at the minute. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Flicks it round the corner, trying to find Souček, but will be seen out well by Luke Shaw. And out for the Man United throw-in. Yes, those flick-on headers, those tricky balls that Man United have to deal with. West Ham really pinning it on them. And in that defence, Dalot to take the throw-in. Deep in his own half. Down the line it goes. Cunha with a flick on. Xerxes tries to get on the end of it. Wins another throw-in. this time off Magassa. That's a nice switch ball there by Dallo, finding Mazraoui. Into the path of Mbeumo, back to Ahmad, down Mbeumo again. Not much room to manoeuvre there, as back to Mazraoui. Ahmad leaves it, and Bruno Fernandes was the target, but in the end it goes out of play for a West Ham throw. Diouf will take the throw in here. Short this time to Matheus Fernandes as Diouf gets it back and clears. Switching it out to that right side is Wan-Bissaka, who's head to head with Dallo. And the ball comes to Soucek, who tries to get it round the corner. Gone out for another throw in. This time to Man United. Very stop-start this game. Neither side really able to garner flow, and it definitely benefits West Ham to have a more bit-part game, more broken up and stop-start affair. It makes it a much more tricky one for Man United to get the crowd into it, to garner that momentum and rhythm in the game that they need in the attacking areas. West Ham have just stifled them in this minute, and using set pieces, free kicks, throw-ins, corners, just to make it a little bit more difficult for United. Use their physicality and their aerial quality. And that switch ball isn't going to help. Wan-Bissaka had no chance there. Well, as I said, West Ham done the double over Man United last season. They last won 3 in a row against United between December 2006 and December 2007. If they win tonight, they would repeat that. Ball in behind for Fernandes, flicked across towards Xerxes, and a little bit of a panic by Todibo. His keeper was ready to gather it there on Areola, but Todibo was taking no risks. Again, good run by Fernandes. Great ball in behind, and first time as it bounces, flicks it across the 6-yard box. Past Mavropanos, and Todibo was taking no risks with his goalkeeper there. Xerxes was on the scene as well, and will be a Man United corner, their first of the game. They're the joint best at scoring from set pieces this season, United. West Ham the worst at conceding from set pieces. Mbeumo almost finds the net. Areola has to parry it over. Corner taken short this time by Mbeumo. Back to Fernandes, then back to Mbeumo, who whips it in, and it just takes the wind and almost catches Alphonse Areola out. A cross that turned into a shot, and Areola has to take evasive action and put it behind for another corner. Set pieces seeming the most dangerous aspect for these two teams so far. Another ball whipped in, punched away by Areola. Back out to the original taker in Fernandes. Finds Ahmad as he hits his own man. The edge of the area, and Dallo. Back it comes to Mazraoui. Now Cunha. Cunha going early. Didn't quite find it as it comes back to Matheus Cunha. Just about keeping the possession. Finds Dallo. Now Shaw. Shaw whips it in. A little high, and Mbeumo tries to get it down, and West Ham there to clear it away with Bowen, who was brought down and gets a free kick. Decent little spell for Man United there. As I say, that's set pieces, certainly an aspect of the game that's, and always has been, a big part of Premier League football, but seems to be more important now than ever before. With the long throw-ins returning, long balls, direct football, set pieces, it's very throwback 90s. And these two teams have a lot of qualities that certainly go hand in hand with that. Referee just making sure that West Ham taking the throw in from the right position. I have to say, both of the games that we've done this midweek have been goalless at half time, so don't want to bore you. And they both ended in a draw, funnily enough, as well. That's going to be a free kick. Bit of head tennis there between the West Ham players. So check. Colliding with the United player. And it's going to be a Man United free kick. Get going quickly. Here's Heaven. Mazraoui. Mazraoui looking for a pass. Out wide it goes to Ahmad. In the corner to Fernandez. He has to go back the way. Now Ahmad stepping in field. Want to drive forward. And actually work it back the way to Fernandez. Slowly but surely getting United up the field. Fernandez. Casemiro. Out to Ahmad. Back it goes to Mazraoui. Switching it out to the left-hand side. Bringing it down his shot. Out it goes to Cunha. Back inside to Dalot. Dalot trying to manoeuvre away from Bowen. Does just about do that. Cunha, a misplaced pass. Cleared away by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bouncing down as Wilson tries to use his physicality. Casemiro did well against Bowen. Now finding Mbeumo. Little bit of room here for United. Here's Ahmad, edge of the area. Down the right hand side, takes it to the byline, cuts it across, and it's cleared off the line. Overhead kick from Cunha's blocked. And then another one from Casemiro, I think it was, that goes wide. Well, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the hero for West Ham, blocking off the line. Good play by Ahmad. Breaks to the byline, cuts it across, and it just comes off the thigh of Xerxes, who adjusts really well. Wan-Bissaka clears it away, and then Cunha tries to go from an overhead kick that's blocked, and then Casemiro's effort gone wide, but Wan-Bissaka was needed there. Cleared it off the line. Big chances for Man United. None of them taken. One of them was very close. Wan-Bissaka clearing away. Beautiful into the path of Wilson, but wasn't given the time on the ball at all. Well, cleared away by United, but again back to West Ham. And Wan-Bissaka becoming a bit of a prominent figure in this game so far. Aaron Wan-Bissaka against his former team. We say how often about players who play against their former teams, and how a lot of them have really good performances. Quite a lot of them score against their former teams. Casemiro a little bit too safe on the ball, gets caught in possession by Bowen, who gets it back from Fernandez, and now Bowen into the path of Wilson. Nice first touch, around Heaven he goes. Can he squeeze it out? And we can't find a way through. Well blocked by Shaw. And there's going to be a free kick here. Magassa a little bit too eager to win it back. A free kick to United. See it again here, Wilson. I don't know what he's really claiming. Is he claiming handball? He is, but there's nothing in that on Luke Shaw. Just a good block by Shaw. Don't know if it does come off his hand. It does, but it's right at his body. There's nothing in that. That's the third penalty claim we've had tonight. Two for Man United and one for West Ham. All cleared, and all correctly so. As we hit the half-hour mark inside Old Trafford. Still goalless between United and West Ham. Neither side have really tested their opponent's goal as of yet. West Ham haven't had a shot on target yet. The big chance for United, cleared off the line by Wan-Bissaka, but that's the only real big chance we've had. Here's Mbeumo. Nice little jink past Mateus Fernandez, rolled it through to Cunha. Cunha gets it back, another go at it, and we'll get another go as it deflects again. Here's Ahmad, whips it in deep behind the back. It was a dangerous one, but no one in there to meet it. And Diogo Dalot giving the thumbs up to that cross. Just wasn't there to meet it that time, the Portuguese, and in the end it goes behind for a goal kick. Not a bad ball by Ahmad. Was the correct pass. There was no one there to receive that said pass, and ultimately comes to nothing. As Areola clears his lines again. Bouncing ball, flicked on by Mateus Fernandez. Here's Bowen in behind. The bounce just lets him down. The flag was up anyway against Jared Bowen. Free kick to Man United. Andy says I have Bruno and Mbomo in my fantasy team. Hi all, hi man, how's you? Very good, thank you very much for joining us again, Andy. My fantasy team's done for the week. I didn't have anybody out of these two teams. 70 points, which I'm quite happy with. The captain Phil Foden, which was an absolute master play. Got me 34 points, Phil Foden, which I'm buzzing with. In the last 10 minutes, Man United have reasserted that dominance that they had in the first 5 minutes. 5 shots, 2 shots on target, 73% of the ball, and 9 touches in West Ham's area. West Ham have none of any of those, and just 20-odd% possession. The momentum swung back in Man United's favour here. Here's Luke Shaw, not challenged by Magassa, but will go out for a United throw. Diogo Dalot to take this throw in. High up on the left-hand side. Long throw into the box it comes. Up and away by Mavropanos, who chases out to the ball. Whipped in, it comes again. Away by Souček. And then the rebound blocked by, I think that might have been Todibo. Better from United again. Fernandez with that shot there. Here's Mazraoui. Out to Ahmad on the right-hand side. Crowd getting involved now. Here's Ahmad again. Chops it back. Fernandez whips it round the corner. Flicked away by Wan-Bissaka. Chasing out towards Dalot, and Dalot will leave it for the throw-in. Fernandez to his compatriot Diogo Dalot. Back to Luke Shaw. Now Mazraoui. Shaw again. Into the path of Xerxes, who comes deep to get to the ball. Out wide. It goes to Dalot. Back to Fernandez, who pokes it through. Nicely fed in to Cunha's path, who was well challenged by Wan-Bissaka. It's another Man United player that goes down wanting a penalty. And another good challenge by a West Ham defender. Here's Potts. Works it out to the right-hand side for Bowen now. Down the right-hand side. Trying to work through 2 men. The ball bounces in his favour. Here's Jared Bowen jinking his way through. And the shot takes a deflection up and into the hands of Sene Lamans. But that was really good individual quality from Jared Bowen. And the finish, ultimately not there, but everything in the build-up to it was getting pretty exciting. So here come Man United. The game opening up a little bit more now. As the referee kind of gets in the way of that. And the apology comes from the referee. It will be a Man United drop ball. Fernandez, sorry. Finding Cunha. Again, nowhere to go there as West Ham pack out the middle of the field and in the end win the throw-in, or win the free kick themselves. See it here, Bowen, really good. Fernandez in heaven, challenging. And Bowen battling his way through, jinking onto his left and his right. And the shot deflects up into the hands of Lamans. And that challenge from Bowen, or from Wan-Bissaka on Cunha a little earlier. Fantastic little challenge. Said he's having a good night so far, the West Ham right back. Cleared off the line, some great big challenges, staying physical with his markers. Not a bad job so far. Here's Xerxes. Takes it down the left channel. He's got Mavropanos for company. And Joshua Xerxes couldn't keep the ball in play, according to the officials. West Ham throw. Last 9 minutes of the first half. Still awaiting our opening goal here at Old Trafford. Man United dispossess West Ham with a long clearance by Todibo. Battling Mbomo. Bouncing in the air. It's brought down by Mazraoui. Now Ahmad. Fernandez. Ahmad down the right hand side. Being held onto, dragged down as well at the process. It's going to get a free kick and it's going to be a yellow card handed out here by the referee to, I think that was Diouf that got the yellow. It is, yeah. El Hadji Malik Diouf. Gets himself a yellow. Second of the season, and Ahmad, I think his eyes will be lighting up now that his fullback's on a yellow card. Whip ball in by Fernandez. Great header by Wan-Bissaka, who's in there to get it away. My goodness, he's having a night, is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Certainly in this first half, that's a great header to clear it away. In a very crowded area. Here's Casemiro. Now Xerxes, little back heel. Cleared away again by Wan-Bissaka sliding in. Now it comes to Ahmad. Out to the right hand side is Mazraoui. Across! Oh, slipped by Areola. And it's cleared away to Freddie Potts down the left hand side. Not getting very far. It's Fernandez dispossessed by Fernandez. Whipped in. Cleared away. Not very far though as Diouf heads it across goal. And Soucek trying to get it away, but no room for West Ham to manoeuvre. Here comes Cunha down the left. Got Wan-Bissaka in his way. And Wan-Bissaka sliding in for another good challenge behind for a Man United corner. The last few minutes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's made 3 crucial defensive moments. A great header. Beautiful ball in by Bruno Fernandes. Fantastic ball in. And it was just going onto the foot of Dalot. Incredible header by Wan-Bissaka. Then he makes a sliding tackle to block another pass, and then he's blocked across there from Cunha. On top of what he's already done, he's having a very good night. Another Man United corner to come. Left hand side, right footed delivery. Oh, it was Casemiro that was lurking there as it's bounced out, and now West Ham might want to counter. Wilson, nowhere to go. Closed down as it's going to be a handball against Magassa. And a free kick to Man United. Accidental handball. Man United having their best spell of the game in the last few minutes. Certainly testing West Ham a lot more. No way through as of yet. A free kick, around 40 yards out, 35, 40 yards out. Bruno Fernandes to take. Fizz towards the area, swung out to the right hand side. Cunha across. Into the mix it was, and Ahmad trying the acrobatic one. Commit to foul on Jared Bowen. Free kick to West Ham. See it here. Fernandes, you think he's going to whip it in. Fizzes it out to the right hand side for Cunha, who heads it back across, and then Ahmad trying to get the acrobatic, kind of clips Jared Bowen with his high boot. It's a fair challenge. He fairly weren't going to try and win the ball, but got the man first, and it's a free kick to West Ham. Areola to clear his lines. Nicely taken down in the midfield as Potts flicks forward. Dalot to head it back the way it came. Potts to get up into the air again, and this time taken down by Casemiro. Finding Ahmad. Tries to feed it down the right channel for Xerxes, who was well muscled by Todibo. Out for the Man United throw. There's a real physical tussle between these two teams at the moment. Those one-on-one duels seem to be tasty affairs at the minute. In terms of the duels, in terms of the West Ham slightly edging the duels, 55% to 45 in West Ham's favour, but very little in it. Dallo with the ball in, headed away by Mavropanos, and out for the corner. Well, if West Ham hang on here, get to half-time at 0-0, they'll be delighted. The way that Man United have thrown all at them so far tonight, with no joy as of yet for United. Corner though, Ahmad to deliver, right-hand side. Up and around, and it's a real collateral of bodies as it's cleared away by Diouf. Fed all the way back to Sene Lamens to recycle it for Man United, but oh, he slipped there as he played it forward. That could have been dangerous. Found its way to Casemiro though, but could have been very dangerous for the United goalkeeper. Here's Fernandes. Mazraoui. Back to Bruno Fernandes. To Nasir Mazraoui. Down the right hand side is Ahmad. Ahmad breaking towards the box. Chops onto his left. Well challenged in there by Todibo. Given away cheaply by West Ham again. And Burmo. Now Mazraoui. Fernandes whips it in again. Flicked on by Xerxes. And directed wide by the Man United centre forward. And will be a goal kick. Certainly shown the energy and intention, Man United, in this game in an attacking sense, but Nuno's West Ham, very resilient, resolute and stubborn in their defending. Any little glimpses that Man United have had. I mean, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's been there to mop it up and deal with it. He's had a wonderful first half, I gotta say. It really could be 2 or 3-0 to Man United without Aaron Wan-Bissaka making some really crucial bits of defending. Here's a ball into the path of Xerxes. Oh, it bounced away to Debo, who got it all wrong there, and Burmo tried to flick it on, cleared away, only as far as Ahmad. Here's Cunha on the right hand side, back to Mazraoui, bodies in the area, out wide to Burmo again. Left foot across, up and away by Mavropanos. As Wilson was pushed in the back there by Heaven. And a free kick to West Ham. Very experienced Callum Wilson. Got on the score sheet in the last few games. Scored 3 goals in his last 3 for West Ham. Albeit failed to score in their last game, but got a brace in a 2-2 draw with Bournemouth and scored in the 3-2 win over Burnley. That's 3 of his 4 Premier League goals. The only other goal that he scored was on the opening, or the match week 3 of the season, when he scored in that 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest late in the game. Ahmad under pressure from Diouf. Firm battle. Fair. Oh, a little bit caught out there was Casemiro. Mazraoui a little loose as he did just enough to put Souček off, and Heaven has to put it behind for the corner, but almost looked like they were working themselves out of trouble, Man United, and then put themselves right back in it. Yeah, Mazraoui just done enough to put Souček off. Any sort of contact there and it could have been even more dangerous. We just have the single minute of added time at the end of the first half. West Ham with another corner. That racks us up to 8 corners in this first half, 4 each. Freddie Potts will take it once again for West Ham, but referee making sure all is well in the box before the delivery. Potts, right-footed, up and away, and it's going to be a foul. Free kick to Man United. The referee certainly spotted something in there. Laman's going to take his time to get the game restarted, but should have the call of the half-time whistle any second now as Heaven, or sorry, Lamans clears it away. Here's Shaw on the left side, and that is the end of the first half. A first half where Man United have really applied all sorts of pressure on West Ham, certainly in the last few minutes of that half. West Ham had their fair share of opportunities as well, but certainly one man in West Ham colours shone the brightest in that first half, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, with some key defensive moments, denying Man United on a few occasions. Half time, it's goalless at Old Trafford. In the flick on header is into the back of the net, and it's Alexis McAllister again. Back post. Oh, it's gone in. Little flick and an overhead kick, and it's gone in. And Sunderland through Brian Broby might have just got a point here. There's another go. Oh, fabulous from Rashford. Absolutely tearing it up. Oh, he's done it. Oh, what a finish! Can you believe it? Arsenal had the set-piece proficiency coming into it, but that is an unbelievable goal from Dominic Szoboszlai. Here's a chance one-on-one. Round the goalkeeper. It's 2-1. Brighton have turned it around. He's at the crossbar. Manchester United are out. Grimsby Town have one of the most unbelievable cup upsets in the Carabao Cup history. welcome back to Premier League Live, half-time at Old Trafford. It's goalless between Manchester United and West Ham after that first half, as has been the case in all three of our games this midweek on LFS. But luckily, the second halves of our other two games have had goals, so hopefully more of the same. Tonight, let's recap all of the week's scorelines for you. Bournemouth beaten at home by Everton by 1-0 on Tuesday night. Jack Grealish with the only goal of that game to make it 1-0 to the Toffees. It was a 9-goal thriller at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Manchester City. City took the lead through Erling Haaland in the 17th minute, his 100th Premier League goal, making him a record holder of the quickest to 100 Premier League goals in just 111 appearances. It was then 2-0 when Tiani Rounders added his goal to the score sheet. Then Phil Foden made it 3 during the 44th. Emile Smith-Rowe got one back for Fulham just before half-time to make it 3-1 at the break. But right out in the second half, Phil Foden added a second to his tally on the night to make it 4-1. Then it was 5-1 through Sander Berger, putting into the back of his own net. But a late foray from Fulham at 3 unanswered goals made it a bit of a contest towards the end. 5-2 when Alex Iwobi found the net, and then Samuel Chukwueze in the 72nd and 78th minutes getting the third and fourth for Fulham, but they couldn't find that elusive fifth to get all the way back. In the end, it finished Fulham 4, Manchester City 5. And in our game on Tuesday night, Newcastle 2, Spurs 2. Anthony Gordon from the penalty spot, and Bruno Guimaraes with the 2 goals for Newcastle, and Christian Romero scoring both goals for Spurs, including that late equaliser, the 95th minute, to secure a point for Tottenham. On Wednesday night, the league leaders Arsenal responded to Manchester City's win by extending their gap back to 5 points, beating Brentford by 2-0. Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka with the 2 goals to make it 2-0 to the Gunners, and a comfortable home win for them, a 10th win of the season for the league leaders. A 7-goal contest at the Amex Stadium between Brighton and Aston Villa. This one was quite topsy-turvy as well. Jean-Paul Van Hecke and Pau Torres with an own goal made it 2-0 to Brighton after 29 minutes. But Ollie Watkins had a late foray in the first half to make it 2-2 at the break. Amadou Onana then gave Villa the lead at the start of the second on 60, before Donyell Malen added a further goal to their lead for Aston Villa, making it 4-2 in the 78th minute. A late consolation from Jean-Paul Van Hecke, his second of the game, Brighton's third, but ultimately Villa could hold on for all 3 points. And 2 narrow wins on the road for our next 2 teams. Crystal Palace beating Burnley by 1-0. Daniel Munoz, the only goal of that game in the 44th minute, securing a victory for Palace. Forest winning away from home by the same scoreline of 1-0. Igor Jesus with the goal in that one. He had a goal disallowed earlier in the game, but he did get his elusive goal. And it is now 12 defeats in 14 for Wolves, who are yet to win a game of football this season and are on just 2 points in the table. By the way, for context, every other team in the Premier League has at least 3 wins this season. Wolves are without a win after 14 matches. To Elland Road, where all the drama was, and a massive result for Leeds United as well, beating Chelsea by 3-1 to end that torrid 4-game losing streak for the Whites. Jacobiol with the opener in 6 minutes. Ayo Tanaka with a cracker to make it 2-0 just before half-time. Pedro Neto gave Chelsea belief that they could get back into it by getting a goal back on 50, before Dominic Calvert-Lewin crashed and crushed those hopes of a comeback when he added a third to the Leeds tally to make it 3-1 on the Knights. And it looked like it was going to turn back to losing ways for Liverpool late in the second half when Sunderland took the lead in that one through Talby in the 67th minute, but a Nordi Mukiele own goal. It was Florian Wirtz that had the shot, but the deflection meant it was a Mukiele own goal for Liverpool's equaliser, and more drop points for Liverpool. Their first draw of the season, by the way. They were the last team to draw a game in the Premier League this season. Now everyone has at least drawn a game, and that finished 1-1 at Anfield. those are the 9 results that we've had already this match week. As I said, one game halfway through, United 0, West Ham 0 as you're watching. And a reminder for you, we've got 2 more games to come across the weekend for you coming up. We have a London derby at Craven Cottage as Fulham take on Crystal Palace Sunday at 4:30. Before we head to Molineux, can Wolves get off the mark and get their first win of the season against a Man United side who have a very good away record? Can they pick up some points? That's Monday, 8 o'clock on LFS. But before all that, we have the second half at Old Trafford on the way next. Do stay with us. In the flick-on header is into the back of the net. And it's Alexis McAllister again. Back post. Oh, it's gone in. Little flick, an overhead kick, and it's gone in. And Sunderland through Brian Broby might have just got a point here. There's another go. Oh, fabulous from Rashford. Absolutely tearing it up. Oh, he's done it. Oh, what a finish. Can you believe it? Arsenal had the set-piece proficiency coming into it, but that is an unbelievable goal from Dominic Szoboszlai. Here's a chance one-on-one. Round the goalkeeper. It's 2-1. Brighton have turned it around. He's hit the crossbar. Manchester United are out. Grimsby Town have one of the most unbelievable cup upsets in the Carabao Cup history. Welcome back to Premier League Live half-time at Old Trafford. It's goalless. West Ham are out on the field, and they've been out on the field for the last few minutes as Man United are just about to re-emerge for the second half. So some message sent there, maybe, who knows. But Man United are going to make a change at the break as well. But before we tell you about that, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we thank you all for joining us here tonight, spending your Thursday night with us here in LFS. It's great to have your company, as it is every night that you're with us and joining us for these watch-alongs. It's great to have your company all the way through. And we have a big second half on the cards here at Old Trafford, and we're going to see a change in the Man United backline. Lenny Yoro is going to be coming on for Aidan Heaven, who the 19-year-old got a yellow card early in the first half. I can only suspect that is why the half-time change is being made. And Lenny Yoro on in the back 3 of Man United, as they kick towards the Stratford end to get the second half underway. Or then we thought they'd got the second half underway. Now they have. It was a little bit mistimed. A false start to the second half, which is exactly what we needed. Interesting, though, that Lenny Yoro is on. Usually plays wide, one of the wide defenders of a back 3, never in the centre. So it's an interesting position. Certainly a tough position to play, but we'll see how he deals with it. Here's Luke Shaw, sorry. Casemiro swinging out to the left, headed away by Wan-Bissaka, trying to find Bowen. Quite find him on that occasion. There's Luke Shaw trying to break down the left, not getting much joy there as he wins the throw-in. Trying to find Cunha with a first-time throw, and Magassa will see that one out for a goal kick. I've got to say, for a decent spell in the middle of that first half, Man United attackers did go missing a little bit. They really made up for it in the final 5-10 minutes of the first half when they did really throw everything at West Ham. And I did say at that time that if West Ham get it to half-time level, they'll be pretty delighted with themselves. But if they're going to want to get something, they're going to need to score tonight, I feel. Here comes Ahmad down the right-hand side. Back to Mazraoui. Into Mbeumo. Down the right-hand side comes Ahmad now, out wide. Now Mbeumo again. Infield. Back around the corner to Ahmad. Trying to break past his defenders and try to cut it back to Mbeumo there. He wasn't on the same page as him. Nice ball. Just didn't quite have the idea to link it up there. And ultimately West Ham can clear it away for a throw-in. Down the line. Mazraoui there to break it apart, and Casemiro flicking away. Retrieved by Mavropanos, who feeds it into Aaron Wan-Bissaka's path down the right. Plays it inside to Magassa. Potts. Magassa back to Mavropanos. West Ham trying to get some possession of their own as Mavropanos' attempt of a long ball is no good all the way through for a goal kick. You've got to say Wan-Bissaka, real bright star of the first half for West Ham defensively. He's got his attacking qualities as well, though. Can bomb up and down that right wing, that can whip a ball in, can be an attacking threat. It's mostly his defensive duties and his defensive work so far in this first half that's been most impressive. Shaw to Cunha. Back to Luke Shaw. He was down the line to Dalot. Wan-Bissaka on the scene, giving him no room at all. Back to Cunha it goes. Cunha trying to switch it. Trying to find Ahmad, but nicely blocked out by Diouf. Out for the throw-in on the far side to United. Just trying to keep their foot on the gas pedal at the minute, Man United. Nice flick ball by Xerxes! And then Mbeumo was the one end, but Freddie Potts makes the challenge, puts it behind for the corner. See this again. Good work down the right-hand side. Mazraoui just drives in field from right wing back, really. Drives in field, no one challenging him. Plays it into Xerxes, who flicks it round the corner for Mbeumo. And Freddie Potts does really well defensively to make the challenge, and does come off Brandon Mbeumo last, which gets a goal kick, which Potts was claiming, and the officials agreed with his claims. As here come Man United on the ball again. Ahmad. Mbeumo. Playing it back to Luke Shaw. Dalot trying to work it towards Xerxes, not on the same page there. West Ham able to deal with it, clear it away with Mavropanos. Casemiro does well, finds Dalot, and Wan-Bissaka battling to win it back. In the end, Shaw got to the end of it, and Bowen puts it out for a Man United throw. Well, Man United are unbeaten in the last 17 midweek Premier League home games, and they've won each of the last 8 in a row. Their last defeat in a midweek Premier League game at home was against Liverpool in May of 2021 when they lost 4-2. And there was no fans in the stadium that night, I don't think. That was one of those games. COVID era. A reminder for you what's on the line tonight. If Man United can win, they can get themselves right up into the mix of that top 4. They can get themselves up to 5th with a victory tonight. We'll be behind just behind 4th place Chelsea by goal difference. Isn't a bad feat. A draw tonight would put them above Liverpool in 8th on goal difference, same number of points as their rivals. As West Ham are going to get a free kick here. Foul on Magassa. Now, a draw for West Ham keeps them in the bottom 3, closes the gap to Leeds to 2 points, but keeps them in that drop zone. As I said, a win tonight for West Ham could get them out of the bottom 3 if they win by, of course, a certain 2-goal scoreline, as they would have scored more than Leeds and therefore would be above them, but it's minimal difference. But every point counts when you're down at that end of the table. Now, it looks like we've already got one team that's favourite to be gone, and that is Wolves. They look to be well cut adrift of anybody in the Premier League this season. They are well below the level. Everybody else seems to be in a little bit of a mix down there. That's what shows you. I think we mentioned this last night about how compacted the table actually is, really. I mean, there's... what was it I figured out last night? 5 points it is right now between 4th place Chelsea and 14th place Bournemouth. 5 points separates those teams, which is quite remarkable. If you take Chelsea out of it, there is between Crystal Palace and 10th, there's just 2 points between 5th and 10th. So it's a very compacted middle of the table. And that's what means one victory can put you from mid-table up to European, up to top 5 and fighting for Europe. West Ham have won a free kick here. Freddie Potts to take in the Man United half. This could be a decent opportunity. Get it right. Freddie Potts fizzes towards the area. Flick on by Mavropanos. Brought down by Todibo. Challenged by Mazraoui, but he held onto it well. Fernandes flicking it in. Diving header away by Shaw, but back to Wan-Bissaka. Mavropanos. Mateus Fernandes. Down the line to Bowen. Bowen has to go back the way to Mavropanos again. There's room to manoeuvre there. Ball down the right channel. Mazraoui did well to cut that one out and turn it into an attacking phase. Xerxes, nice little layoff. Feeds it towards Ahmad. Bodies forward here for United. Ahmad plays it into Casemiro, who was caught there by Magassa in the middle. Brought down, and that's going to be a United free kick. Little better on the breakaway. It was a good setup ball by Xerxes. Laid it off really nicely to Ahmad, and in the end Ahmad's ball was into the path of Casemiro and he won that free kick, but could have been more dangerous possibly. Well, Man United fans getting behind their team now with this noise and inside Old Trafford. A free kick for United. Fernandes over it. Bruno Fernandes, right-footed delivery. Up and away by Mavropanos. Only as far as Shaw, who wins it back. Chests it down. Out to the left it comes. And as he tries to whip it across, blocked by Wan-Bissaka, who seemed to have hurt himself there a little bit. But he's okay. Stretched to block that one behind for the corner, did Wan-Bissaka. Corner taken short by Fernandes. Cut to the edge of the area, and Burmo blocked a couple of times and skied over the bar by Shaw. Well, the assistant's got his flag up for offside. I'll see this again. So the corner taken short. Ahmad cuts it back to Mbeumo. The block. I don't know where the offside comes, but there's nothing in a handball or any of that. Goal kick it is. Taken by Areola. And right out of play for United throw. A bit wasteful there from the West Ham goalkeeper. Wan-Bissaka working hard to win it back and trying to take on two men, and he does successfully come away with the ball there, Wan-Bissaka. Souček can't get down the right hand side, blocked by Shaw, but one back again by Magassa, laid off by Wilson. Now Bowen back to Callum Wilson. A little bit of joy here for the Hammers. Here's Magassa with a shot. Hits the side netting, and the crowd jeer that opportunity, but it was a good move and well applauded by Jared Bowen. He was involved in it. Magassa's shot just off target, but good play again between the lines from West Ham. Might have took a deflection there, if I'm honest. In the end, it comes for a goal kick, but it's a little bit of promise for West Ham that they're still very much in this game. In terms of an attacking sense, has been a little bit quieter down that end of the field, or certainly in that area of which Man United are defending. Not had much attacks to defend as of recent. That was a key moment. Nice play by Casemiro. Back to Shaw. Shaw down the channel, finds Dalot. Wan-Bissaka in the way again, but trying to manoeuvre his way into space. Dalot. Inside he comes. Cross to Casemiro. Now down the right hand side is Ahmad, onto his left. Cuts it back for Casemiro, who has a shot. Deflects into Dalot's path. And Diogo Dalot sinks it home. And Manchester United break the deadlock. Diogo Dalot been well marked, well stopped by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He said he was trying to work himself into space. Well, he got himself into a space that was unmarked, and he struck it home with his right foot into the bottom left corner, and Manchester United take the lead. Maybe a little bit of fortune, but fortune favours the brave, and you make your own luck in football. And again, Man United have deserved it. Sayed Ahmad chops back, cuts it back to Casemiro. The shot deflects off Potts into the path of Dalot, and Wan-Bissaka tries to throw himself at it. This time it gets past him. Beautiful little finish. And Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0, and Diogo Dalot with the goal to give United the lead. Really nicely taken. His first at home in the Premier League. You wouldn't believe that's true, but it is. You gotta say, Wan-Bissaka's been all over him all night, but on that occasion there was no stopping it. A little bit chinky there, and this is almost in the exact same time that West Ham conceded at the weekend against Liverpool. A little bit of deja vu there for Nuno's team. 60th minute they conceded against Liverpool. They conceded on the 58th tonight. Very similar spells of the game. Dalot to take this long throw for United. Right on the arm mark. Flicked on by Yoro. Bouncing around as it's headed away. Not very far though again. On the ropes a little bit here, West Ham. Fernandez, oh, the deflection off Magassa. Caught by Areola, but that could have been another awkward deflection. In the end, it's well stopped by the French goalkeeper. Alphonse Areola. Clears long. Wilson, Potts, nicely taken in by Souček. Flicks it into the air. Dalot comfortably deals with it. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Under pressure there by Cunha. Done just enough to see it out for the throw. Work to do now for West Ham. Trailing in the game. The defending was working until it didn't. They have since Nuno Espirito Santo's first game in charge, the third most points from losing positions. They've picked up 7 from losing positions since Nuno was appointed, so they're not a team that gives up under Nuno Espirito Santo. When the first goal goes in, they find a way a lot of the time. They're going to have to find a way tonight. They found a way when they went 1-0 down against Newcastle. Came back to win 3-1. And they found a way when they went 1-0 down against Burnley to win 3-2. And in the game against Bournemouth, they threw away some points in that one, but that's their last 2 wins. West Ham have come from being 1-0 down. Long way to go, though. Dalot throw in from the right this time. Cleared away by Diouf. Now Magassa brings it down. He tries to flick it in behind for Bowen's run, but the flick goes wide. And Shaw is able to retrieve to Mateus Cunha. He's breaking forward into a number of bodies as Mavropanos comes through. And Casemiro winning the throw-in off Konstantinos Mavropanos. Shaw all the way back to Sene Lamans. It's about managing the game now for Man United. Well, this season, there's been quite a few games that have hit the 30s in terms of goals per match week. 32 so far this match week. 2 more, and that's the most goals in a single match week this season, which is 33 at the moment, which is the current most. We've had 32 this match week. We break that with 2 more goals. Massively helped on by that, the game at Craven Cottage and of course the game at the Amex last night. 16 goals in those 2 games alone, which is equates for half of the goals this match week already in just 2 games. 16 in 8 games and 16 in 2 games. That's crazy. Albeit one of those 8 games is still underway, still ongoing here at Old Trafford. As West Ham win a throw in down the right side here. Still 26 minutes to go. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to take the throw in. Down the line he goes. Flicked on by Souček and bounces out off Bowen, who tried to get involved there. Out for the Man United throw. As I said, this win, if it stays as it is, it would be a win for Man United. It would be their 7th of the season, with only 3 teams having more wins, which would be Villa, City and Arsenal. The only 3 teams that would have more wins than United this season. If this was to be the case and the result, they would be on 24 points after 14 games, and would be just outside the top 4 on goal difference. Considering that they only picked up a total of 42 points in the whole of last season, to be on 24 after 14 games is a big improvement if they can keep the consistency. United. Fernandes, Cunha, Fernandes out to Mbeumo on the right hand side, trying to cross it, blocked, bounces back into the path of Fernandes. And closed out by Mateus Fernandes, who helps out for West Ham. Finding Magassa. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to Potts. Now Fernandes. Magassa. Potts out to the left hand side, it goes to Diouf. Inside it goes to Suchek, back to Diouf again. West Ham with a decent spell of possession. Nice ball out wide by Magassa, out to Diouf. Diouf with the early cross, flicked by Bowen, takes the pace off it. Chases it to the byline, cuts it back to Diouf. Diouf in this left touch line, works it back the way to Potts. Now Mavropanos. Working himself into space past Casemiro. Mavropanos cuts it back to Wan-Bissaka. What ball by Magassa round the corner. And it's into the hands of Sene Lamans, and decent effort. Well watched by the Man United goalkeeper. Casemiro was just clipped at there, but nicely won by Magassa to win the throw-in. As Man United are going to make a substitution. They made one at half-time, bringing Lenny Yoro on for Aidan Heaven. Well, Patrick Dorgu is going to be coming on, and it's going to be for the Man United goal scorer, Diogo Dalot, who gets a round of applause and an ovation for his contribution, his goal. It would be giving Man United a win tonight as it stands. He's going to be replaced by Patrick Dorgu on that left wing. Left wing back, of course. A quarter of the game still to go. And United 1, West Ham 0. Ball down the line, Wan-Bissaka not for getting very far as Magassa has to do a bit of a recovery job. Trying to work it down the line, but couldn't keep it in play. Throw into Man United. Well, Man United's only win against West Ham in the last 5 Premier League meetings was a 3-0 victory here against the Hammers. Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho on the score sheet. Garnacho got a brace in that game to win 3-0. West Ham have won each of the last 4 of the last 5. 3 of which actually came at the London Stadium. Their last victory, of course, was the 2-0 win here at Old Trafford. Here's Mateus Fernandes down the left channel. Lovely little ball to Diouf. Diouf whipping it in. It's deep. Callum Wilson was in there, but Yoro got there first. And Magassa, well shielded by Zirkzee there. And there's Dorgu battling with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka putting out for a Man United throw. We talked about West Ham's away record in the Premier League. Their only win was the 3-0 win away at Forest. They've lost 3 away games this season, Leeds, Arsenal and Sunderland. And they've drawn the other 2 away at Everton and away at Bournemouth. So a fair mix, but not many wins in the away games this season for West Ham. And that fluky game against Nottingham Forest, but here they come on the break now. Here's Jared Bowen in the area. Bowen across, bobbling around. Freddie Potts has a shot blocked by Casemiro, behind for the corner. Again, Bowen is the outlet for West Ham. Again, it's down this right-hand side. Beautiful ball played by Freddie Potts to Bowen. Ticks on his man in Shaw, cuts it back with a little deflection into Potts' path, who chests it down, has a go. Blocked by Casemiro behind for the corner, but West Ham showing fight in this game to try and get back in it. And Bowen will take this corner. 70 minutes gone. Man United lead by a goal to 0. Bowen to try and whip in a ball here. Cleared away at the first man, which was Ahmad. And away for the throw-in. Really wasn't a good ball by Bowen that time. Worked it well there, finding Magassa between the lines, poked it through. Bowen trying to get across his man, blocked behind for the corner, although I think the flag's gone up. It has. Offside there, Jared Bowen. You see this again. Poke ball by Magassa, and he just strays offside a little bit there, Bowen. He just held his run a little split second more. He would have been onside, but he was just off as the ball was played. And Euro made a good block in any case, but Bowen just in an offside position. Well, Man United have had a good home record this season. They've lost 2 games, both by a 1-0 scoreline here at Old Trafford against Arsenal and Everton, but they've won the 4 games sandwiched between those two against Burnley, Chelsea, Sunderland and Brighton, albeit they kept a clean sheet in only 1 of those games. So out of their 6 home games, they've kept a clean sheet in just 1, which was the 2-0 win over Sunderland. But every other team that's come to Old Trafford this season has scored. As you can hear, the travelling West Ham fans trying to give their team support as Freddie Potts was just kind of stood on there by Casemiro. Accidental, of course, as it's just going to be a West Ham throw. Euro under a bit of pressure as the ball's retrieved by United. Dorgu. Casemiro's ball deflected actually nicely for Fernandes, who's going to try and set it through for Mbeumo. In a one-on-one battle with Todibo, Brian Mbeumo beats past his man, goes down. Cunha's shot deflected behind for the corner. Referee says no to a penalty claim as Mbeumo went down. The shot then came from Cunha, but referee says corner. Yeah, it's not a penalty. Not a penalty. Seen the replay. Todibo sticks a leg out but makes no contact at all with Brian Mbeumo. Knows what he's doing, Mbeumo there. Definitely not a penalty, just a corner. That's the 4th time Man United have gone down in the box tonight wanting a penalty, and none of them have been. All correct decisions by the referee. Corner to United, right hand side. Left footed delivery, it's looped up into the air, punched away by Areola. Back out wide it comes though. Ahmad will whip it in again, punched away by Areola again. Mazraoui feeds it back out to Ahmad again. 3rd time lucky maybe. He's not going to get the chance as Diouf blocks him, but he works it out wide to Mbeumo, who cuts it back for Cunha. He will lift it in. And Casemiro is trying to keep it alive. He won the header, brings it down to Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Casemiro, who will try and go for goal. But you can tell by my voice where that one went. Into the stands. Goal kick. As the clock ticks down, West Ham starting to run out of time to find a way back into this game. You talk about 2 teams that the first goal is really never decisive for them. I'll talk about that in a moment, because here comes Matheus Fernandes into the path of Bowen. Bowen charged down by Mazraoui there. That shot as Diouf battles to win it back, but Mazraoui just about gets the better of him. Finds it to Zirkzee under pressure, too easily beaten off the ball. Magassa wins it back. Now Diouf. He tried the ball down the line. Euro was there to break it apart ahead of Jared Bowen. Well, as I was saying, Man United have dropped 6 points from winning positions. West Ham have gained 7 points from losing positions this season. So there's not much room for sustainability when these two play. The first goal is never usually the decisive one. Wan-Bissaka does really well, gets past Cunha. He's going on his own here, finding it to Souček, back out wide to Matheus Fernandes, who whips it in. It's deep, and Laman's alert and aware and aggressive to win it, and gathers quite comfortably. Just 1 shot on target so far tonight for West Ham. Man United have been the better team. Crucially have that goal to give them a lead, but they've given the ball away cheaply there with Mbeumo. Here's Potts. Feed it through the lines, blocked away by Shaw. Bouncing down as Casemiro contested with Bowen, won the ball, and now Fernandez gets away. Out to the right-hand side comes Ahmad. He's got the space to burst forward. Can he find a pass? He can't, but the deflection might have helped it before Todibo's clearance. And Wan-Bissaka taken out by Casemiro there. Free kick to West Ham. As Man United ready to make some changes. Mason Mount and Manuel Ugarte ready to come on, and Mateus Cunha's night is done. He's coming off. And Ugarte coming on for him, and Mason Mount is going to be coming on, and Joshua Zirkzee is going to be coming off for him. A bit more solid and resolute for Man United. Maybe more midfielders, more bodies in the middle of the field to solidify those defensive areas. Just give them some more support. They've got that lead now, and they don't want to give it away. Don't give away too much in the final 13 minutes, but more of a conservative approach from Ruben Amorim. Wan-Bissaka. Fired ball into the path of Wilson, who couldn't really deal with it. Shaw clears away, brought down by Wan-Bissaka again nicely. Into the path of Magassa, round the corner to Suchek, all down the right channel. This is Magassa challenging, but Shaw did really well to block it. And then Mason Mount is brought down a little late there by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's going to be a yellow card. Very busy night, I'd say, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's had, but I'd say on the balance of things he's done very well. Have been very impressed with his performance tonight. It's mostly defensively that his star qualities have shone, but it's a yellow card for that mistime tackle on Mason Mount. That ball down the left. Dorgu tried to take a touch inside Wan-Bissaka, but well spotted and well seen and well defended. Well, Man United probably have the kindest fixture to come next for them. They head to Wolves on Monday night. We'll have that game live here in LFS, the team that's bottom of the league. And the worst team in the league, no doubt, this season. Wolves at Molineux, that's the game on Monday night for United. And then next weekend, they host Bournemouth here at Old Trafford on the 15th. Before a trip to Aston Villa before Christmas. Here's Dorgu. Well challenged again by Wan-Bissaka. Great challenge in the box. And then Bruno Fernandes was having none of it either, but a nice friendly little battle there as the ball goes out for a throw in. What a challenge by Wan-Bissaka. Incredible. I really sound like I'm blowing making a lot out of Wan-Bissaka's performance. I couldn't remember the saying there. But he has had a very good performance tonight, and some of those tackles have been quite incredible. It all started with that clearance off the line. That's what kind of catapulted his night onto a very good individual performance. Mount, nice ball to Mbeumo, heavy touch though. Allowed West Ham to retrieve it again. Magassa, nice Suchek, nice little drag back, and tries to play it back to Wan-Bissaka, but didn't know that path was closed by Mount. And Casemiro, sorry, finding it to Dorgu, back to Mount. Now Casemiro, Man United in no hurry, with 10 minutes to go. They lead by a goal to nil. Diogo Dalot the scorer. West Ham back in action on Sunday afternoon. They head to Brighton on Sunday before a home game against Aston Villa the following Sunday. And then a trip to Manchester City before Christmas is their next couple. Here's Shaw. Dorgu back to Shaw. Shaw with a cross in. Up and away by Diouf at the back post. Flick on there by Wilson. Bowen got to it, but great challenge back there for United to block the pass. Now Dorgu flicked in, the header by Fernandez is into the hands of Areola. Game very open at the moment. That block pass is crucial. Bowen and Wilson have been right on the precipice of finding a good link up tonight. Bar one or two last ditch challenges, they could have had some joy. Here's Bowen trying the cross, off balance, gets a deflection, wins a corner. Got to say where would West Ham be without Jared Bowen? Absolute stalwart of this team. Even when he doesn't have his best game, he still does everything he can to get something for his team. As West Ham going to make some changes. Freddie Pott's going to be coming off, and Andy Irving is going to be coming on his place. And also coming off is going to see Mohamedou Kante coming on for Souček. So Kante and Irving on, Souček and Potts off for West Ham. 7.5 minutes of the normal time to go, plus the additional. And a corner to West Ham here on the right hand side, which Andy Irving will straight off the bench come and take. What an introduction this would be. Irving delivers in, flicked on the post, oh, it's off the line, follow up is in, and it's West Ham United back on terms, and it is Magassa that gets the leveller, and West Ham United didn't give up in this game, and they find a way back on terms. The delivery by Irving, whipped in, cleared off the line, and then the rebound finding the back of the net. And Magassa with the goal. Again, you see it delivered in. It's flicked onto the near post. I'm trying to figure out, it might be Bowen that flicks it on. We'll see it again. Yeah, it is. It's Jared Bowen, and it's going in. What a clearance by Mazraoui to get something to that is incredible. It's so unfortunate for him after his great work. It falls to Magassa, who tucks it into the bottom left corner. Nicely taken goal, but Noussair Mazraoui couldn't have done any more than clear it off the line from Bowen's head. Man United 1, West Ham United 1, and Nuno Espirito Santo celebrates, punches the air as Magassa fires the leveller. 1-1. Told you this game wasn't done. Big goal. Big goal. Man United are going to have to be a bit more aggressive again to try and retake the lead. There's that foul there by on Dorgu. Referee says gives the advantage to United. They're on the attack now. Casemiro, Mount edging a little bit of space. No room there. That's cut out. West Ham on the momentum now. Here's Bowen trying to break away. Goes down under a challenge of Shaw. And Luke Shaw's going to get himself a yellow card. Yeah, Shaw just a little late there on Bowen. He knows what he's doing. England teammates, of course. Second yellow card of the season for Luke Shaw. It's one of those tactical yellow cards. Here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Walking onto Bowen. Nice little flick, finding the path of Kante, and the ball round the corner here. Bowen cuts it back to the byline. That could be in again. West Ham across. Cleared away at the back post by Ahmad. Necessary as there was no one in there, but nicely won back by Mateus Fernandez. Man United wilting at the minute, as that's a poor ball by Wan-Bissaka, gifting the possession right back to the home side. Dorgu, Casemiro, now Fernandez, but beaten off the ball this time again by Todibo. West Ham seemingly want it more now. Todibo, beautiful little ball, finding the run in behind here. Bowen in the middle. Jared Bowen couldn't quite get to it as two United players threw their bodies at it to clear it away. Not very far it goes. Conte takes it on to his right. And the shot was skied away from goal. But it's all West Ham at the minute. Man United hanging on. They've got that equaliser and they've garnered the momentum to try and push for a winner. No one making a run to that Bowen cross. If there was someone on the end of that, it was a certain goal because it was an empty net. Jared Bowen doing everything he can to try and help his team across the line. I was just seeing an Aaron Wan-Bissaka challenge from a little earlier. I told you that Man United got the advantage. Well, Wan-Bissaka on a yellow, that was a challenge. It was dangerous on Dorgu. And it was already on a yellow, so he needed to be worthy, but... what's the word? Jesus. He needed to be careful, is what I was trying to say. And that challenge could have been very dangerous, but in the end, the referee saw no issue. Substitutions being made here. Max Kilman's come on for West Ham, and Lisandro Martinez has come on for Man United in place of Luke Shaw. Callum Wilson, by the way, made way for Max Kilman, so both sides making defensive substitutions. So Ugarte wrestled by Magassa. Free kick to Man United. Dorgu. Martinez. Casemiro back to cross to Mazraoui. 2 minutes of the 90 to go. Is there a winner in this game? Fernandez. Ahmad. Back to Fernandez. Ugarte. Mazraoui. Ahmad. Up against Diouf. Todibo helping out. It gets across and Ahmad has to go back the way again to Ugarte. Quite a little impatient with United here. Fernandez. Ugarte out to the right is Ahmad. Desperate for them to move a little quicker. Ugarte was laying up for a shot there, but he played it across to Martinez. Now Dorgu. Martinez made a run into the box. Dorgu's cross blocked by Wan-Bissaka. Dorgu gets it again. Finds Ugarte. Man United on the offensive again. Trying to win it all over again. Last minute of the 90. Got back by Fernandez. A little bit off piece there, but Ahmad does get to it. Back to Fernandez. Whips it in early. Half cleared there by Todibo and follow up by Mavropanos. Ugarte wins the header, brought down by Dorgu. Right to the left, beats past his man. Patrick Dorgu trying to whip it across, and that cross was too deep. Behind for the goal kick. Man United haven't drawn a home game this season. Five added minutes then at the end of the 90 here. 5 minutes for a winner to be found. Man United's last draw at Old Trafford in the league was a 0-0 draw against Manchester City in the derby back in April. That was a 0-0 draw. The last score draw at Old Trafford in the league. It's a long time ago. It was a 1-1 draw with Chelsea in November of 2024. Martinez into the area. Casemiro helping it along. Ahmad just seen out of the box by Diouf. Fernandez. Diouf blocking it again, but Ahmad gets it out wide. Casemiro across low. Cleared away by Todibo. Anywhere will do for West Ham now. I think they're pretty happy with the point as it stands. They'll take the point now, West Ham. They've dropped into a 5-4-1. Bowen up there on his own at the minute. Good 20 yards ahead of anybody else. West Ham dropping deep. Here's Mazraoui. Feeds it into the path of Casemiro. Gets it across. Punched away by Areola. And then the rebound comes off the foot of Fernandez and behind. I think they've given a corner, have they? Or is it a goal kick? See it again. Nice ball into the path of Casemiro. Cross. Gets his hand to it, Areola. And then Fernandez just whacked him. Does it come off Magassa last? I don't know, but it's a close one. I think they've given a goal kick. They have. Is that the big chance? Areola fires long. 3 minutes of the 5 added. Still to go. As a flick on here. Bowen gives chase. Euro gets the better of him. Holds off. Wan-Bissaka though wins it back, and a little bit of room here for Jared Bowen. Breaking forward into the box comes Bowen, tries to get it across, bouncing around, still not away. Bowen kind of doing keepy ups in the Man United area there as Dorgu gets it back to his keeper, who can clear it away. Oh my goodness, that was dangerous from United there. Just could not get it off Bowen. And Dorgu will let that one go out for the throw from the mishit crossfield ball and the sting out of it. 2.5 minutes to go. Dorgu urged by the crowd to hurry up. Mount. Dorgu. To Martinez. Dorgu gets himself in a muddle. 2 West Ham players win it back. Irving with the ball. Irving fizzes it out to the left side, but Ahmad tracking back does well. Heads it back to Sene Lamens. Wants to unleash it quickly. A winner needs to be found. It will be found by increasing the tempo, not decreasing it. Long ball forward here to Mbeumo. Well tracked and marshalled by Magassa, who wins the throw in out of Patrick Dorgu. And throws himself to the ground, claiming cramp. How reliable is that? I'm not too sure. It's very reliable. Referee quickly on the scene, making sure there's no time wasting going on. And he's magically recovered from that cramp. Magically. Magassa there, but great performance from him. And he's going to win player of the match. His goal that could be a massive point for West Ham. Ball bouncing down the right channel, nicely shielded by Martinez. Back to the goalkeeper. Last minute of the 95 incoming. Back to Sene Lamens. So one more chance for Man United. Ball pinged forward, and Mavropanos will just get it back to the goalkeeper in Areola. One last chance for West Ham, maybe. Areola forward. Taken in nicely by Irving. Now Wan-Bissaka just beaten to it by Martinez. Nice step in. Now he's got the space. Can he find a pass? Finging it forward. Ball headed across. It's not away. It's Cunha. Or it's Fernandez, sorry, and it's well wide. That was maybe the chance. He's already had a big chance. Bruno Fernandes. It's not the best of defending headers by Todibo, but the ball carried so far wide that Fernandes, almost an impossible angle, and he struck right through it. Well wide of the goal, but a chance that came to nothing. Surely that will round us out. Last few seconds. Areola will take this kick, and surely that will be it. Unless the referee has other plans. That he doesn't. And the final whistle goes at Old Trafford. Some boos ring around, but in a game that Man United dominated, certainly had the better of it. But ultimately, it was Magassa that had the decisive moment late in the last 10 minutes to rescue West Ham United a point after Diogo Dalot's finish gave Manchester United their only goal of the night. It's 2 points drop for United. It's a point gain for West Ham. Their 8th point they've gained from losing position since Nuno Espirito Santo took charge. They're a team with a fighting spirit, West Ham. Albeit they will remain in the bottom 3 tonight. But they are a little bit closer to moving themselves out of that position. Man United could have had the chance to go 5th tonight, but they will take in the solace that they are above their rivals Liverpool by the end of tonight's result. But 6 wins out of 14 games looks maybe just a little bit worse than 7, what it could have been multiple times tonight. A little bit of a mention to Nasir Mazraoui's off-the-line clearance, and also Aaron Wan-Bissaka for a almost impeccable defensive display tonight. It was individuals that had their say. It was Magassa's goal that got the point for the Hammers. And in the end, Nuno Espirito Santo's Hammers fight on to live another day. Final score at Old Trafford, it's Man United 1, West Ham 1. And that rounds off match day 14 in the Premier League. All 3 of our games this week have ended in score draws. Tuesday night at the St James's Park it finished 2-2. Last night at Anfield it finished 1-1. And tonight at Old Trafford it's finished 1-1 as well. And we didn't get the record for the most goals in a match week this season, but we equalled that record. 33 in total across the 10 games, albeit 16 of those came in 2 games. So certainly 2 that shone the brightest: the 7-goal thriller at Amex and the 9-goal game at Caoimhan Cottage. Those are all the scorelines from this week in the Premier League. Wins on the road and clean sheets for Everton, Crystal Palace and Forest. Big win away for Manchester City. Draws in the games that we've already mentioned. The only 3 draws of this match week came in the 3 games that we watched. Arsenal, the league leaders, the only team to keep a clean sheet and win at home this week. Brighton beaten with a big win away for Aston Villa as well, moving them up to 3rd. And a massive result as well for Leeds, beating Chelsea by 3-1 as well. Pick of the bunch there. Let's show you what the table looks like then after 14 games in the league before we go all over again in less than 48 hours time when the Saturday lunchtime game gets underway. And that does involve the league leaders. Arsenal on their trip to Aston Villa. They lead by 5 points. 33 is their total. Manchester City on 28 and 2nd. Villa up to 3rd on 27. They could close the gap to Arsenal if they beat them on Saturday to just 3 points. Chelsea on 24 after their defeat last night. Crystal Palace in 5th on 23 alongside Sunderland also on 23 with their point at Anfield. Brighton, Man United and Liverpool all on 22 points as well as Everton making up the top half on 21. Into the bottom half come a couple of teams on 19 points. Spurs, Newcastle, Brentford and Bournemouth in that order from 11th to 14th. 17 points comes Fulham in 15th. 16th is Forest on 15 in their win. They move away from the relegation zone. Leeds also moving out of the bottom 3 with their win at home to Chelsea. And then the bottom 3. West Ham, despite that draw with United tonight, that is a good haulage of points in the last 5 games. A total of 8 points out of a possible 15. That's not bad for a team in the bottom 3. That's 2/3 of their tally this season has come in the last 5 games. They're on 12 points, just 2 adrift of safety. Burnley now 5 defeats in a row. They're on 10 points. And Wolves, who've lost 12 of their 14 games, still winless this season. They are rock bottom. Right, that is it from the Premier League tonight and this midweek. A reminder for you, we have 2 games coming up this weekend. On Sunday afternoon at 4:30, we're at Caoimhan Cottage in a London derby as Fulham take on Crystal Palace. And then on Monday night, Wolves host Man United at Molineux. But that is it from us tonight. Magassa was there to get the point for the Hammers late on after Diogo Dalot thought he'd got the decisive one on the night. It finished 1-1 on the night. Good night.